All right, we are going to talk about controlling the cell cycle. So remember, the cell cycle is made up of interphase and then all the four phases of mitosis: prophase, anaphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, and then cytokinesis, and then it goes back into interphase. So a control system was put in place so that the cells wouldn't continually go through mitosis, meaning they wouldn't divide without a control system. So a control system is made of proteins. Okay, proteins are just certain chemicals in your cell, and they occur within the cell, and they direct the timing, so how long those different phases take, and the sequence, so the order that they go in inside of the cell. Now, if something goes wrong in this system, the cell can lose control of the cell cycle. And when the cell loses control of the cell cycle, cancer often results. So cancer is a disease that is caused by a disruption to the cell cycle that leads to uncontrolled cell division, where that cell cycle just goes around and around and around and around, never stopping. So cancerous cells. So cancer cells form masses of tissue called tumors. There are two types of tumors. There's benign tumors. These are abnormal masses, so abnormal gatherings of cells. And these are usually normal cells, so abnormal masses of normal cells that stay wherever they were first made, okay, and usually can be removed with surgery. Typically, benign tumors are not dangerous, but we will get rid of them so that they don't become dangerous. So benign tumors is an abnormal mass, a huge mass of normal cells that remain at the original site of growth wherever they were growing and can usually be removed with surgery easily. A malignant tumor, okay? You can remember malignant. If you take Spanish, M-A-L means bad. B, bueno, means good. So you can think of them that way. Okay, or a B is a good grade, and an M is like a missing assignment. You can remember it that way. But a malignant tumor is a mass of cancer cells that displace normal tissue as it grows. So these cancerous cells actually invade normal tissue, okay, and they move it out of the way as it grows. So if these malignant tumors are not killed or removed, the tumor can spread into different tissues. So let's say it starts in your lung. If they don't remove that mass, that malignant tumor, it can start to grow into your chest cavity and maybe into your heart. It can spread into your blood and eventually into other tissues around the body. If it does break off and end up in other tissues around the body because it moved through the bloodstream, it's called metastasis. So metastasis is the process of a malignant tumor having pieces of it break off, travel through the blood to elsewhere in the body. Okay, it's the spreading of cancer cells across the body, and that's called metastasis. So causes of cancer. So there are some causes of cancer that are environmental, meaning whatever environment you're in puts you at higher or lower risk. Things like if you smoke, if you live in an area where there's really high air pollution or high water pollution, or if you're out in the sun a lot without protected skin. Cancer can also be caused by genetic factors. Viral infections can damage our DNA and cause cancer, but there are warning markers in your DNA that show that you're more prone to cancer than other people. So yeah, there can be genetic factors or environmental factors, and sometimes they're both at fault when cancer is caused. So if you have cancer, if someone has cancer, they tend to go through a treatment which includes radiation therapy and chemotherapy, both which disrupt cell division. Radiation therapy is literally shooting large bits of energy to kind of kill the cell, to break apart, kill those dangerous cells, to kind of break them apart. Chemotherapy is literally putting certain chemicals into your bloodstream that don't allow cells to divide very well. And these include your normal body cells. So this is why people who often get radiation and chemo get so sick, is because their normal cells aren't being allowed to function the way they normally are, and there's literally chemicals in their blood to help kill the cancer, but it also damages some of their normal body cells just as a result. And it's okay, it's survivable, but it's really, really difficult. And chemotherapy and radiation have been used for a little while, and they're very effective for the most part, depending on the types of cancer. But they're just really hard to deal with, I think. So yeah, so that's the treatment of cancer, and that is the control of the cell cycle. I hope that makes sense.